So the first match between New Zealand and France has just finished, 31 points to 27. New Zealand getting the win, but boy did they have to work hard for it up against a young, hungry French side who thoroughly impressed me throughout this matchup. They kept it competitive. There was, of course, some controversy around that game, which I'm sure will be mentioned at some point, but in this review, we're going to be looking through at who were the standout players and really what caused this game to be as close as it was. But starting off for the New Zealanders, we saw some great work from Will Jordan. He got himself 2 tries, had 1 disallowed at the end of the contest. That was a bit of a trend for the All Blacks throughout this game. 3 in total disallowed, 1 for Geordie Barrett, 1 for Will Jordan, and 1 for Billy Proctor. It was one of those contests, though, that just seemed so competitive when it came to the breakdown, the kicking battle. I feel France were winning it. New Zealand, they seemed to be losing a few metres every once in a while. And of course, that first minute injury of Sevu Reece going off with the head knock, he more than likely won't be playing next week or the week after. So it brought on Damian McKenzie. He took on the 15 jersey. That was something maybe people weren't expecting to see, possibly for the last 20, but not for 79 minutes up against the French down in Dunedin. But overall, I thought he had a pretty solid game. Beauden Barrett also very well done off the kicking tee for this contest, kicking at 100%. And when you consider how close this game is, 31 points to 27, had Beauden missed 1 or 2, maybe even 3, that could have been the difference maker. France, they were up early, managed to get themselves a 10-point lead, but New Zealand staying in the fight. Few of their youngsters stepping up. Fabian Holland, I thought, was extremely impressive in that number 5 jersey. Tupavai at 6 does seem like a pretty decent option for New Zealand. He scored himself a try in the matchup. Christian Leo Willie also on debut, and not just on debut, but starting debut for the ABs. He was physical, had a couple big hits in there. Savia doing what Savia does in the loose forward trio as well. In the back line, Cam Roigard, couple good snipes round the side of the breakdown. As soon as he went off the field, it did seem like the All Blacks lost a little bit of that threat of attack next to the breakdown, which is where they were quite successful, but a good run from Ratama down the wing with a fend, then off to Beauden Barrett, and did chip it straight to Atasogbe, who did have a standout performance in his own right for the French. Gael Fickou, he seemed to be impressive throughout this contest too, and Gilliard, the number 8, he looks like one to watch out for in the future as well. Gabin Villiers, though, for me, I would say was the best French player outside of his yellow card. He got turnovers close to the French line where the All Blacks had a counter-attack, and it just seemed to be that last little moment where Villiers could somehow find a way of ripping it away. Now, he did go to the bin, like I said, for a yellow card, but overall, just a very strong performance from this young French side. All Blacks handling errors going to be something that is talked about thoroughly, I would think. Rieko Ioane out to the wing, not as smoothest transition we have ever seen, but if they keep with it, perhaps he will get stronger as the games go on. He just seemed tentative out there on the park, not really chasing after anything too hard, and also having a few handling errors along the way as well. But yeah, hectic game for the first match of this series. I know a lot of people felt like at this stage we were going to be doing a video saying, hey, the All Blacks have won this match by 35 points, but that was far from the reality with how this young French team played. The All Blacks, like I mentioned, a few disallowed tries, some of them very close, but just not quite clinical from the AB. So big decisions now to be made heading into the second test match. So with that being said, I feel like I've just randomly said words for the past about 4.5 minutes. It's going to take a little bit of time to process what was, like I said, an absolutely hectic contest between these two sides. We have got another live stream for the Waratahs versus British and Irish Lions. That one might be a little bit more one-sided than this matchup. But of course, do let me know what you thought of this match. Who were the players who you feel stepped up? Who do you feel let their sides down a little bit? And also, what is your thought now of this series? It's been talked about all throughout the week. France B team, France C team. This looked like a France D team, but the D stands for determined because they want to beat the All Blacks on New Zealand soil, and with how they played here, couple little adjustments, perhaps that could be a reality for the second or third test. But thank you all very much for tuning in. If you did enjoy, sure to leave a like and subscribe, and I will see you all for the next one.